Hyperior, the Cresselia, and the Mischievous. Gavin, who is off-screen right now, will also be using an Amoonguss, a Landorus, Metagross, Ludicolo, Volcarona, and Tyranitar. A little bit more standard. We see a lot of those Pokemon a lot more often than, well, Mischievous, but still both very strong teams. I'm excited to see what these players have.
Yeah, there's quite a few Pokemon in this game who aren't super common. The Landorus incarnate form on Gavin's side, much less confidence there in Ludicolo, not super common really in any team. And then, Abomasnow, Hyperior, Mischievous, and sort of Scrafty all on Enash's side. Pretty rare Pokemon, so creative trainers this time.
Very creative and exciting, and there it is, leading off the match, Scrafty and Mischievous on Enosh's side. He, of course, is on the top of your screen, and at the bottom, Ludicolo and Metagross coming out for Gavin. And Mischievous, I couldn't even begin to tell you even his move pool. What can we expect from this Mischievous?
We have learned a little bit about it. As you expect from most unevolved Pokemon, it's holding the L in the Violet, which increases the special defense and defense of the Volcar. Enosh has been pretty proud of it. He tells us it's bulkier than Cresselia, so I'm eager to see if it can stall out this team.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a lot on Mischievous' shoulders here in its debut appearance at a national championship. Of course, the Ludicolo and the Metagross over on Gavin's side, a little bit more of an offensive threat here. Also, two fake-out users potentially on both sides. Scrafty for Enosh and Ludicolo here for Gavin.
Enosh has a little advantage in the fake-out game since it's a ghost type. In addition to being bulkier than Cresselia, Mischievous isn't able to be flinched by fake-out because it's a normal type move. So it makes it a little bit tougher for Gavin here, and not surprising when we see a switch.
Yeah, Metagross comes out for Amoonguss, another very bulky, very annoying Pokemon here. This little mushroom gained a lot of notoriety in the 2011 meta game. Of course, eats a fake out from Scrafty. Good move there from Gavin, predicting the fake out there. Gets the Scald onto Enosh's Scrafty. Of course, Ludicolo is going to be dealing a little bit of damage there with that, while Mischievous can see its first trick, Trick Room.
A lot of slow Pokemon in Enosh's roster. Potentially Abomasnow, Scrafty, and Hyperior are all very slow. So, Trick Room, most likely to be used advantage. However, Amoonguss, one of the slowest Pokemon in the game, already out on Gavin's side. Perhaps he saw that Trick Room coming.
Yeah, great play there by Gavin to get that Amoonguss out. Of course, it's putting a lot of pressure onto Enosh because of the score ability that it has, which will put one of those Pokemon to sleep, provided it's not holding a low or intestinal vision.
One of the game's more frustrating Pokemon to play against Volcarona we saw previously. It has the Rage Powder ability to draw an attack, but it can also use Spore to put Pokemon to sleep.
And Scrafty does not want to risk being spored. Is going to switch out for the Abomasnow. Going to let Amoonguss have the free reign for this turn at least. Snow Warning picks up a Hailstorm as Abomasnow brings the hail with it. The Spore does come in. Looks like Gavin is afraid of the unknown. Goes for Spore onto the Mischievous. Of course, as we mentioned, the Eviolite is going to make sure that it's not holding one of those chest or lung berries. Gets the free sleep onto Mischievous, which is snoozing away for the remainder of this turn. Ludicolo is going to go with another Scald here, but of course, because that Scrafty switched out into the Abomasnow, great counter for rain because of its resistance to water. Doesn't take much damage, but does get the burn. Still burning the Abomasnow, going to get substantial chip damage as Burn whittles away at that HP bar every turn.
I'm probably not too upset about that if I'm Enosh, though. Well, being burned, typically a bad thing, is usually you prefer your Pokemon to have more health rather than less. It does protect them from Spore, which was a big threat here. I was just about to say, I was wondering if Enosh was going to regret putting that Trick Room up since Amoonguss sort of immediately took control, but Abomasnow is going to be able to fire back here since it can't be put to sleep anymore.
Definitely not great for Gavin on that count. Still, just definitely because of Abomasnow's Ice-type abilities there. Going to be able to deal a lot of damage to both the Amoonguss and the Ludicolo. Even though Ludicolo is part water, it's part grass, it's going to make sure that it's taking a good amount of damage there. Amoonguss realizing that since it can't Spore anything, it can't really do anything against this Abomasnow and Mischievous combo, switches out for the Metagross, which is substantially more offensive than the Amoonguss. Definitely going to try to get some more of that offensive momentum, and also is going to be able to resist this incoming Blizzard from Enosh's Abomasnow. And they deal not very much to that Metagross, a good amount of damage to that Ludicolo, but still a good switch there by Gavin, make sure he doesn't take quite as much damage as he could have. Ludicolo, of course, is still going to go with that skull onto that Mischievous, which hasn't really had a chance to do much of anything. It's using away. It's its second turn of sleep there. It's going to get buffeted by the hail and take a little bit of chip.
Apparently that Mischievous is pretty bulky. Probably seeing it take an attack there, and Skull does almost nothing. The hail damage from the previous 2 turns does almost as much as the Skull did, so Mischievous probably won't have too much of a hard time surviving for a few turns here.
Yeah, Mischievous probably not going to be much of an offensive threat. Sometimes we see some Cresselia go more offensive, but Mischievous definitely looks like it is as bulky or bulkier than Cresselia. And if it can stick around, it'd be nice to see some of the tricks it has on its sleeve make use of its bulkiness. Even though it may not be the most particularly offensive, some of these support moves can be game-changing, as we've seen in some of our earlier matches. Ludicolo returns to Gavin as Volcarona comes out. Two games for Volcarona in this Nationals. I'm excited about that because Volcarona is one of my favorite Pokemon. As Metagross goes for the Protect, stalling out this Trick Room here. And that Fire type on Volcarona is going to let it take the Blizzard pretty well from that Abomasnow. Metagross, of course, taking no damage because of the Protect. And the Blizzard comes in onto the Volcarona, who will be able to take that very little damage there, plus, thanks to the resist, plus its abilities to, has really strong special defense. The Will-O-Wisp into the Metagross Protect, though, gives Gavin a lot of good information there about what that Mischievous could be packaged.
We finally see one of its attacks, the Trick Room. Like most Ghost Pokemon, it gets a good group of status moves to both them, including Will-O-Wisp, as well as some more unconventional moves like Pain Split. So it's likely we'll see Mischievous run a pretty support-oriented set here, given that by being an unevolved Pokemon, it can't do a whole lot of damage, but it can do some indirect damage with moves like Pain Split and Will-O-Wisp that don't actually use any of its attack stats.
Yeah, Will-O-Wisp doesn't seem like it would be as great of an offensive threat, but we're looking at the burn on the Abomasnow and how much that's wiggling away each turn, especially as Gavin is playing on the defensive, waiting for this Trick Room to reset. That extra damage on the Abomasnow is really great for him. Scrafty comes back out, setting up for another fake out next turn, perhaps. Gets the Intimidate off onto Volcarona. Would love to get that Intimidate off onto Metagross, but unfortunately its clear body will prevent its attack from being lowered. One of the reasons Metagross is so powerful, even given the amount of Intimidates we see in the metagame. Metagross, however, does not want to stick around, switches out for Ludicolo, so they can have its own fake out pressure, and also eat a Will-O-Wisp if it needs to. Quiver Dance, not the Rage Powder here.
Rage Powder has become more common recently. It used to be that Volcarona was always a Quiver Dance Pokemon. This is the set you could expect. You boost up with Quiver Dance, increases speed, special attack, and special defense. You want it to tank special attacks fairly well, dishing out huge damage and usually going first. One of the best counters to that is Trick Room, which reverses the speed order. And we've already seen that from Enosh's side here.
Yeah, definitely as the Quiver Dance boosts its speed. Trick Room is not the best thing for that. You never really want to be boosting your speed in Trick Room, but of course, that was the final turn of Trick Room, and the Twisted Dimensions have returned to normal. Volcarona now looking pretty scary with that increased speed, special defense, and special attack. Of course, now that Scrappy's back on the field, fake out pressure is still there.
Yeah, both sides obviously preparing for Trick Room to expire there. Both of them brought their fake outers out, so
Crowd goes wild for Ludicolo's fake out onto Scrafty. Gonna get the advanced damage there. Heat Wave coming in from that boosted Volcarona. Gonna get some free damage off onto Scrafty and this Scrafty and Mischievous both survive that Heat Wave, and Mischievous is able to get that Trick Room off once again.
Mischievous is taking a beating this game. It's been out there for, I think, the entire game so far, and it's still ticking. Enosh might be onto something here.
I have a scary Scrafty does go down to the hail. Mischievous takes a little bit more. Hail doing a lot of work at percent health damage. If everything else can't get through the defenses, the hail can. And now we have a situation where a speedy Volcarona is now in the Trick Room. And one of Volcarona's greatest nemesis, Rhyperior, is now on the field in Trick Room.
Rhyperior is one of the slowest Pokemon in the game. It has stab, attack bonus for both rock and ground type attacks. Like ground, one of the best attacking types in the metagame. Only really bothered by levitators and flying type Pokemon, both of which are hit hard or super effectively by Rock Slide.
definitely great for this too, because Rhyperior gets some really cool coverage moves, like Mega Horn, which could really damage that Ludicolo.
No Pokemon on Gavin seem to safe here. And this is one of the hardest spots to play on it. Almost all the turns of Trick Room are still available, and Rhyperior has free reign to go crazy here.
Yeah, and it looks like Metagross is coming out hoping to tank some of the damage that will be coming Ludicolo's way. Volcarona, also very afraid of any attack from that Rhyperior, is going to be able to protect itself. While Rhyperior does use that Mega Horn on Ludicolo's slot, but Ludicolo's not there anymore, Metagross is out, and it's going to be able to take that much better than that Ludicolo. Pain Split does come out from Misdreavus, hoping to use that low HP to its advantage, but Volcarona wisely protected.
And Enosh trying to use Pain Split to keep Misdreavus alive, but only going to have one more turn to try to get Pain Split off and avoid fanning.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see if that Misdreavus continues to survive. Metagross has occasionally carried one priority route, which would be great for Trickery. Or the speed trickery that happened, the reverse speed. There we go. And it looks like Volcarona isn't going to have a good time at all. Even an Earthquake connected to that Rhyperior wouldn't be super effective on Metagross. Not super effective on Volcarona.
When I get home, I'm going to
There's a couple of Pokemon to be able to take an Earthquake safely at this point. So Rhyperior probably eyeing up the team eagerly here. Gavin's probably going to try to get Ludicolo out and turn the fake out or start stalling in terms of this Trick Room, because if Rhyperior gets more than about 2 attacks off, the game's probably going to end.
And it looks like he does exactly that. Gavin sends out his Ludicolo in place of the Volcarona, not wanting to risk anything for that Rhyperior. Bullet Punch from Metagross does get to Misdreavus, and finally, after all of these turns, at least like 8 turns, that Misdreavus does faint. The Earthquake comes out, the Ground Gem activates. That's going to be really scary, even to that Ludicolo that's going to resist. Boosts the power of the Earthquake. Metagross goes down easy, and look at how much damage. For the greater good.
You see the power of Rhyperior. Not a Pokemon to see a whole lot of it. It does have a great attack skill, and getting a bonus on mid-rank might be a better attacking move in the game. It's hard to deal with. Gavin sees why they're getting switches on resist, I think is good. Not so much, but he does give him a free switch.
He does get free switch. Enosh choosing to use his advantage Trick Room by sending out that Abomasnow. He doesn't like the Volcarona all that much. Amoonguss quite fiercely. Amoonguss still has a little bit of Trick Room left. Volcarona, who does love Trick Room, Volcarona does not. Potentially good if Gavin just
taking control of the game.
Kurt always one of the ones that
Gavin's going to have to try
maybe a couple times.
That should be slower than Rhyperior, though we'll have to see here. But the thing it is, you both use Spore and 4 times super effective Giga Drain. Weaken Rhyperior here. So it makes it much harder to play, whereas like all the other Pokemon you haven't seen, Rhyperior can pretty much just play all expired.
Definitely true. Of course, that Amoonguss is part of the poison. It's going to be taking good damage from the Earthquake, but with the Ground Gem out of the way already, not going to be taking as much as maybe it's going to be a very close match here as we wait for Enosh to make his decision. It's really interesting to see like first here. Rhyperior does not believe it's his time. Goes to the Protect to save itself from that Amoonguss. Amoonguss also protecting because of the Abomasnow Blizzard threat here. Looks like this is a free turn for Volcarona. The Blizzard is into Amoonguss's Protect. It does hit Volcarona. We'll see how much damage it dealt. Not near enough. Not very effective. Volcarona does get the Bug Buzz. Does get the Fire Off attack onto that Abomasnow. Abomasnow will faint as Gavin's Volcarona Trick Room gets a KO against the Rhyperior.
You mentioned Volcarona is not a Pokemon that enjoys being a Trick Room very much, but that's one way you just want to make it effective. Amoonguss protects it, slower Rhyperior, and it'll allow you to get some damage off of his Abomasnow.
Definitely a very collective section by Gavin. Trick Room is not yet over, so potentially be going first, able to finalize the KO on that right inferior and the Volcarona isn't feeling quite as brave this time. Goes to the protect. Right inferior is faster, or slower rather, uses the rock slide into the protect of Volcarona. Is going to deal some damage to that Amoonguss. Good amount of damage there, but doesn't get the flinch. The Gigatrain is going to come in 4 times super effective. Going to deal a lot of damage. Look at that HP bar go down. All the way down. Inferior survives one more turn, but Amoonguss is going to be able to heal all of that damage back up.
You rare to see that. You don't think of Amoonguss watching an attack, but it really takes one out of the zone.
That's the case. With the hail coming in, not quite enough to drop safe right here either.
Rhyperior is clinging to its life here, trying to avoid getting knocked out. Giving Gavin the first game, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen here with Training expiring.
Definitely. Volcarona now able to move first, potentially giving Volcarona a chance to get a KO on the right inferior itself. Sort of bizarre reward. Amoonguss is protecting itself. Volcarona is going to use the Bug Buzz, and it is going to land on that right inferior, and right inferior is going to go down. And Gavin Michaels takes the first game of this 3-game series.
The whole game was just sort of Enosh trying to stall out his own trick room.
Definitely.